Um,
You're so quiet. Did the video freeze?
I'm taking mental notes. Okay, so it's coming along. Let's peel another layer of the onion back, right? We're chipping away at the sculpture like Michelangelo, and we know that the ultimate image of that sculpture exists in the marble. We just have to get to it.
Sure.
Now, so with regards to the throw, and as I've mentioned to you, I was always pursuing this motion. This is a big part of this particular technique. We have to know how to move up and down if we're going to be making notes on the way up and down, right? So what we're doing is we're just taking advantage of the way the human body works on this planet. And then we, as well, this technique really is very simple, right? We're really paying close attention to the grip. So go ahead and describe the grip to me.
It's
I mean, if you were, Patrick, if you were teaching it, how would you describe it?
the middle finger, first knuckle of the middle finger, then the front fingers steady and the rear fingers rest on the stick.
Okay, that's a very simplistic way of talking about it, but Dick Wilson was more detailed than that. But that's the essence of it. Teaching a very young student this technique, you might just get him to start to feel things. Remember, Murray would say, I don't teach the hands, I teach the brain, and the brain tells the hands what to do. And Richard Wilson would say, maybe, but I just want you to feel it, and then we'll talk about it. So maybe there's somewhere that works for you that's in between, and every student is a little bit different. Dick Wilson would talk about the fact that the thumb and the first finger are the guide.
Mm-hmm.
Now, many people approach playing with the idea that the fulcrum is the first finger and thumb. And it will become the fulcrum if we pull with the fingers. It's become the fulcrum, and a lot of guys play this way. And this is an offshoot of the technique. At a certain point, once you learn to just hold the stick, let the stick lay in your hand, at some point, perhaps, you know, Dick Wilson would get into, I think he called it finger pulls. Okay, so and that would change the fulcrum, perhaps, if we're in palm down, right? We'll get into the fulcrum and how it relates to palm down relative to half turned over and French. Not right now. I just wanted to talk about the grip. First finger and thumb are the guide. The stick rests in the flat of the thumb, That fleshy portion of the lower part of the thumb acts as some kind of resistance to the stick wanting to fall, and the upper part of the fleshy part of the thumb acts as perhaps it would be providing force. It's very subtle. I mean, and Carlos Vega talked about the fact that Murray Spivak would go ahead and squeeze the first finger and thumb really tight. I don't know if I've mentioned this to you. Just you know, for now, just go with the right hand. We'll hope for good bilateral transference. Okay, no, I really want you to squeeze. Are you squeezing?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, have you left an indentation in your thumb?
Yeah, there it is.
See, there's a track now, isn't there? It should be running directly along the thumb, down the center of the thumb. So I was wondering if your thumb was a little bit at a funny angle to the stick. I want it nice and flat, so when you press that thumb in, you're going to create an indentation. Now, we're not going to be applying this level of pressure when we're playing, but I just want to show you where the stick rests as it relates to the thumb. So you don't need, it's not about playing right now. This is more of a in a minute we'll apply this grip to playing. But right now I just want you to think about the placement of all the fingers. Okay? So that's where the stick rests in the thumb. And with regards to the first finger, the index finger, this particular grip is about letting that stick lay in the crack of the first knuckle. And like the thumb, the pad of the tip of the first finger, which is going to be interesting in your left, but I think you're cool, works as some kind of resistance with regards to the stick wanting to fall. We don't wrap the tip of the stick. A lot of guys play like this too. They take their tip and they wrap it under the stick. Not what we're doing, but it is curved. It has a certain kind of contour. Okay, and so unlike the thumb, in that the upper part of the flesh of the thumb acts as some kind of force, perhaps, the upper part of the first finger acts as that little bit of fleshy area just above the first knuckle of the first finger acts as some kind of force, right? And sits in the crack of the first knuckle of the first finger, and the flat of the thumb is applying pressure across from it. The two of them are applying pressure towards the stick and act as a guide. Now, as well, the stick is to run down to the fleshy part of the palm, just next to the bone.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you don't want it on the bone, next to the bone.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to make sure that that stick isn't too much like this. It's supposed to be like this. See the contour or the relationship of the angle of the stick as it relates to how the first finger and thumb are holding it and its position on the palm. Okay, and now the middle finger is the fulcrum in palm down, and the stick is going to rest in the first knuckle, first joint of that middle finger, right in the crack there. You create this little kind of a holder, right? People have different ways of expressing it. It's a saddle, or it's the bottom of a cane, or we're creating this little holder. We have the first finger and thumb. We have the middle finger, first knuckle. Now, here's what I didn't see in your grip. I didn't think that there was, and your description certainly didn't provide the information. Now we want to put the pad of the ring finger, the fourth finger, on the stick. It doesn't go in the crack like the fulcrum, like the middle finger. It's on the pad of the fourth, and then the tip of the fifth. All the while, the stick is resting, runs right to this area of the palm next to the bone. See, you're more on the pad of the fifth. It's supposed to be on the tip of the fifth.
Tip of it. Okay.
See how the fingers, how they run this way? There is, the knuckles are lined up. They're running in a particular direction.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially the stick is following the lining up of those knuckles and the so-called line that is created in terms of how those knuckles are arranged or lined up. Okay? So does it look like this? Does it look like, how does yours look now?
So,
That's better, better. Now, and the other thing is we don't want to be squeezing with the tip or the pad of the fourth.
yeah,
It's really a 3-finger grip.
yeah.
And now we put the pad of the fourth and the tip of the fifth on, and we don't want to be influencing the stick with those back fingers. As soon as we influence the stick with those back fingers, go ahead and pull with your back fingers. No, stay with me now. No, we're down here. Go ahead and pull with your back fingers.
All of them.
See what happens? It motivates an upward motion of the bead, right?
Sure.
See, and we want to stop when we want.
The front of the stick down, so there's nothing to pull on. It's just resting down here. Am I too far back?
Well, see, mine is resting on my palm, but I can apply excessive pressure with the fourth and the fifth finger, and I get this. I pull it into my palm. So now I have a divot in my palm. Just like we got created a divot in the thumb, and that's not what we want in the palm. So you can pull. It's just resting. You see, you don't need to pull it. The palm is countervailing, but we could, and as we get playing, it's very typical. In fact, many techniques require it. Right? It's a back finger grip. You've heard guys talk about that. They play like this. This is what's doing the motivation. I believe this is more of a molar thing, right? And that motion that they developed that came from pull with the back fingers, that came from marching on these huge drums, out in the field, and they had these huge sticks, and they weren't playing like this. They were grabbing these hunks of wood, and they had to make a big strike, and it wasn't about finesse, and they were playing on calfskin heads. I believe this is the epistemology of that particular technique, and not only that, but if you're out in the field with a calfskin head, it's all soggy. You're constantly having to retune the calfskin head, so they grab that thing. So that's a different technique. This technique is about a more fulcrum forward kind of approach. Mm-hmm. And if we go squeezing with the back fingers, it motivates this kind of angle of the stick. The bead wants to come up, and then it turns the back fingers into the fulcrum. Go ahead and do it. Just try it. No, don't play. I'm sorry. My fault. Just come down here and squeeze with your back fingers. Yeah. Go ahead and squeeze excessively with them. Just the back fingers. And hold it here. Hold it.
For it to go.
Yeah, well, there's just a little, but it's just as much of that fleshy part of your palm. Yeah, but don't let go up front. There, that's all it is. I'm just saying that if you squeeze with these back fingers, that makes the back of the hand the fulcrum, and it makes the stick not want to lay down parallel bead to butt end relative to the playing surface, right? We're looking for this. We're looking for this. We're not looking for this. We're looking for this, not this. I'm not turning my wrist either, even though it does motivate the wrist to want to move a little bit. Okay, that's the grip. That's the grip, and we want to maintain that grip at all times. Okay, and right. Okay, you have a little bit of a fleshy area on that first finger in the left, right? You have a little bit of.
This is, it's a little bit trickier. I'm quite sure how. So the fulcrum, I think, is okay. Where I get into some complexity is the fourth and fifth fingers, which I have less command of. and they're a little bit bent out of shape from the break in the bone.
Okay.
So,
Okay, well, I'll keep
punched up there.
Yeah, I think the tip of your first is gonna work. See what, yeah, and you don't need to squeeze to death with the fulcrum either, the middle finger. It just lays in there. Just put it on the stick.
It's,
Watch. Stay
yeah.
with me a sec. If you just hold the stick thusly, right? And you put the middle finger on, see, the stick doesn't change its direction. It doesn't move in this direction, and it doesn't change the angle this way either. So we're just putting it on right now to find out where it touches that middle finger. See that? So don't just put it.
So this middle finger doesn't straighten because of a loss of some of the tendon.
The middle finger doesn't straighten.
Middle finger, and neither does the fourth. Fourth doesn't straighten. Fourth and middle don't. Third and fourth don't straighten.
Okay, well, see, you've got a built-in grip. You're the $6 million hand. Okay, the bionic hand. Okay, so we'll keep that in mind. But the gig is regardless of their shape, what we don't want to do is apply pressure or unnecessary pressure. We just want to have the middle finger touch the stick in the crack of the middle finger. Just go ahead and do that for me. Here, just go ahead and now you can put the stick up in the air. Now, yeah, copy me. Bring your elbow back, and okay, and so the middle finger is just. And notice, try not to get the middle finger pointed down. It's right next to your first finger. They're kind of snuggled up. You're not holding them together, but yeah, you're right. See there, and don't go squeezing with it. Just put it on there, and keep your stick straight so that we know you're not fiddling with the angle. Okay, and then you're just going to put the pad of the fourth on, and don't pull with it, regardless of its shape. And then the tip of the fifth, and don't pull with that.
These ones are a little trickier.
Pad of the fourth.
Line up.
But that's not bad.
True.
We'll work. That's okay. Just don't go pulling with the fifth, even though it might have a peculiar kind of contour now to it. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. Now we want to apply this grip to everything we do. And so what we want to learn to do is make a throw. And maintain this grip. Every time you land, it should feel, essentially, it feels like you're maintaining the grip all the way through the grip, but particularly, I mean, after we make a throw, the stick should look like this and feel like this. The stick is just laying in the hand. You know, stay in the right. Stay in the right with me. Okay, now watch my upper arm. Check it out. I don't want to spend the whole lesson on theory, but let's try to set you off in the right direction right from the beginning. Okay. So yeah, so I've got this grip, right? I know that this grip is going to work, and then I'm looking to notice that the upper arm leaves my side on the way up. It's, watch. Look how loose my wrist is. Okay, and you want to notice that the elbow moves away from the body ever so slightly. Yours never really, your upper arm never really comes back to your body. Like even right now, I don't believe that you're feeling this.
Hmm.
Go ahead and try it. Yeah, really let it hang. Now, if you're going to the gym all the time, I get it. You may have a slightly different kind of posture, okay, right? And everybody's slightly different. So you need to find out how your body works when it really does nothing.
Yeah, it feels my arms are close to the body here. It may not look like it, but against the body here.
Well, you notice? Do you feel your? Yeah, I feel my arm up to my body or against my body, almost to here, just above the anticubical fossa. Okay, so it's touching the body when it's at rest, or when we're not making a throw, all the way down to here. Okay, then when we go to throw, see,
When I'm going to make a throw, my arm is moving forward a little bit.
well then Dick Wilson would say you have oval elbow, and that's not what you want. It really swivels out to the side, and I'm not doing it. So what we need to do is learn that the arm will come away from the side when we do this. There.
Now, is this the technique? Do I come straight up, or do I come out to the side a little bit?
Straight up.
Straight up.
However, I'm not seeing your arm reacting in a natural way. So let's try this. Take the left stick out of your hand, but the left. I want just the stick in the right hand, and I want you to place your hand on the left hand,
Okay.
and I want you to go up. There. Now your elbow went out, and now it's coming back in. There. That's what you were not feeling. Here's what you were looking like. Stay with me. Get this into your head. Don't go doing it on purpose. It's by keeping, as Richard Martinez says, a fixed point in the universe.
Yeah.
Richard Wilson would say you go up and you leave the bead down longer than you think. And you're going to go up, and you're going to notice that certain things just happen.
Yeah.
Your elbow wouldn't move. You know, your elbow wouldn't move that much. Stay with me. Get this part of it. Just hang. I wish we had a little more time together, but so we'll keep going here. But see, now it's not. Now your elbow isn't moving. Interesting, isn't it? Not going out and in. It's just kind of going forward, and I don't know what it's doing. So you have to let this go, recalibrate, and then this idea, because you had it.
Moving away from the body or moving forward?
But you don't do it. You don't make it happen. It's something that if you were teaching a kid, you might not even tell them about. And eventually, as it became more built in, you may discuss it with them. But so stay with me. Here's how you're going to get it. You can just do, this is what you're doing. This stays almost a little bit away from your body the whole time, and it just stays. I can see the light behind you. You can see your lamp behind you. It just stays like right here. You could hold it here, and it's going up and down from the anticubical fossa, meaning that your bicep is really just. Dick Wilson would go, "You're pumping your arm. You're pumping your arm." Not what it is. Watch. Go ahead and hold the beat again, and just feel this. And if it goes away, yeah, just going to go up like that. You see, that looks right. It's as if, what, can you come down? Uh-huh. Yeah, that's better. Try not to go doing anything. Just leave it here. And it's as if you're holding this lever arm. moving around what is, now it's as if the bead is a fulcrum, isn't it? Now the bead of the stick is the fulcrum. All right, there's a hinge here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Water pump, and you're going to pump water. And it's locked into the stick is locked into a hinge in this direction, so you can't move it around. It just goes up and down. And your body will accommodate the lever arm or beam going up and down, straight up and down, by countervailing. And it comes away from the body just a little.
Now, when you say comes away, what I feel naturally is my elbow to come forward like this.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. I wonder how else can I show you? Here, just go ahead and put your stick right here on your lap, close to your waist, so your arms are not forward. Okay. They're just hanging normally, right? Okay. Not behind you, like this, and not in front of you. They're just, again, they're just hanging. Okay, so if we do that, watch. Just do that. Just roll forward. The rolling pin. Yeah, see, when I go forward, my elbows don't go forward. If they do, it's so tiny. What they do is they go sideways. You might not be able to see it here.
Okay.
Let's see. Can you see it? I don't know what you're seeing.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like they come away. They come out like
Yeah.
this a little bit.
In that direction a little bit, but you don't do it. If you're right, but you don't do it at all.
Right. It just happens naturally. That's the idea.
Actually, so the weight, yeah, you don't do that. That becomes okay. So that's what we're looking for this. First, you have to get this, and then you're going to turn your wrist. So come to here. Come to here. See, your elbow's perfect right now. It's fine. And then just turn up to the ceiling and let the whole thing collapse. No, don't come up anymore. Just get to here and turn to the ceiling. Turn higher. No, first, really, it's a the throw is going to become a two-part procedure. Yeah. It goes like this. The elbow has moved maybe a stick's width away from the side of your body. That's fine. See, you don't feel anything. You wouldn't know unless you were looking in a mirror. And then you're just going to turn your wrist. Better. No, but don't rush it. Every time you go up, you just have to, and that's why it's helpful to have a mirror. You want to have the arm follow the wrist so that it moves away from the body ever so slightly. And then once you get to here, you don't need to go up any higher right now. You just need to get that feeling, and then you turn. No, you got to go up and almost let it hang for a minute. It would behoove you to break this down into two sections, because it just turns into this after a while. It just becomes meaningless. There's really is very specific. You want to get to here, and it's going to hang there. Now turn your wrist. That's it, but just do it all. Just let nature take its course. No, you have to get to here and let it hang for just a moment. And now turn your wrist. There. Stop. Just stop. No. Retool. See, you just went blew right past. You got one really good one. Now turn your wrist. Get to there, and turn your. No, you don't have to go up any higher. Just get to here and turn your wrist. There. Yes. Get to the first location first. Let it hang for a moment. Yeah. Now turn your wrist. Turn your wrist a little higher. Turn your wrist. There. Okay. Okay, so now let's take a look at the up and down stroke, because you were working on that. I believe I had you playing, I think we got you, well, we'll see where it is. Let's see where it is. Can't see, that's not a real throw. See, that's not a throw in your right. You're not going like this and this. There's a much better throw.
It's really hard for me to tell the difference between what's good and what's not good.
I know. That's why a mirror is very important. And also, if you just follow these, this blueprint that I'm laying out for you, it just has to, did you actually get to here and let it wait? And trust that everything's, yeah, and then turn your wrist. See, that's how you know it's working. If you just do this and you never wait, you never have this moment of awareness, and you just start to do this, it just turns into some other technique. There, that's good, man. Okay, we've identified, this is a Richard Martinezism. We've identified a problem. We've found a way to help work out the problem, right? Right? We've identified it, we've addressed it, and figured out a way to work out the problem so that we have a solution. You just went through that process. Don't keep going up. You actually have to let it sit there for a sec. Yeah, you have to let it hang there just for a second. Get it to it nice and smooth. Get there and turn your wrist. There. That's very good. That's much better. When you watch this back, you'll see. You just keep going in that direction, right? I think I may have gotten that wrong. What is it? It's a problem. You create a solution to the problem so that you have resolution. Problem, solution, resolution, and that's what you. No, you're just now you're actually teaching yourself. Don't come up. That's it. No, and don't keep going up. Get to there and turn your wrist. Get to there and turn your. There you go. Don't overpronate. Don't. You don't have to come up too high on that first turn. There. Ta-da! Much better. Now, can you maintain that throw? Go ahead and put the metronome on at 40. Now relax your arms, because remember, they're supposed to be hanging by your... No, stop. You just went. That's not it. That's not the throw. You actually have to... There you go. There you go. It controls your timing, doesn't it? Notice? Nice, smooth. Yeah, it's helped with your upstroke, too. Not bad. See, your turn just a little higher for me. In the left. In the left. Let's get a little, not just a little, it was fine. I know you're trying to balance out all the notes. There you go. Oh, changed again. Now you're not making an upstroke, but that's fine. At this speed, maybe there's time not to. So you don't need to make an upstroke yet. Now, see, now that you have the timing of the motion much improved, now you know whether it's an upstroke or whether or not you have time to make that motion in between. Okay, want to go the other way for me? You busted yourself. That's it. That's becoming your own teacher. And watch, I want to stop you just when your right really has a nice, because it comes up to here. The left tends to want to go up higher for some reason. It really wants to feel something. And then you'll feel some tension. Yeah, just that. And then you turn your wrist. Turn a little more. Turn. No, don't come up higher. Just get to here and then turn your wrist. Turn. No, don't force it. Don't come up quite so high. Just come up and hang. Hang. No. Just come on up and hang. And then turn your wrist. Turn it higher. That doesn't mean you use your arm, come up higher. Just come up a little less. Now turn your wrist. More. Turn your wrist. Nope. You've got to get the hang first. It's got to hang there. Hang. Not quite that high. There. Stop. stop, stop, wait there. Really nice. It's fine. Just feel that. There's not much to feel, but you are pointed down at the surface. Okay? Now, from there, you don't have to do anything else. Nope, stay with me. Don't jump ahead. You're here. What was happening, and your right had it, your left is about that far off. I just watch. Here's a little turn. I want you to give me, once you get to here, I want a big turn. Turn up to there, but not fast. Doesn't have to, don't get to here, and just turn your wrist. There you go. There you go. Don't force it on the way down, just turn your wrist. There you go. Much better. No, didn't hang that time. Don't slam it down either. Don't go pushing it down. On the way down, it's just turning your wrist. It's as if there's no arm. You won't feel your arm. You have to let it hang for a minute. Not quite that high. It hangs a little lower. No, not that high. That's the gooseneck. A little too high. No, now you're shoving. Nope, you're coming up too high. Right to there. And then you just turn your wrist. Turn your wrist. There you go. Turn your wrist. Don't keep lifting the arm up after. Once you're hanging, you just turn your wrist, it'll come down. And don't force it down. Just turn your wrist. It'll come down on its own, whether you like it or not. There you go. Now put the other hand with it. The other hand's just turning for small notes. We're playing the up and down stroke, starting left. Up, yep, no. And you knew it too. Some part of you went, okay, that's right. Stop yourself if you have to. Little hang, not hanging high, just a little. There it is, little too high. Don't force it down. Turn your wrist. There you go. Just hold the stick with that grip I showed you and turn your wrist. Much better. Okay, there you go. Now you have this look about you. Now you have this look about you. Watch. You're down in here, right? And as you're getting stuff that it's as if you are really not using any excessive or extraneous motion. You're right here, and all you're doing is this. And really, right? Sure, I know we're going to make throws, but so you get this, as opposed to this kind of out of control, unschooled, undisciplined kind of look. That's you're getting this. See, you're just getting this nice. It's nice and flat looking. There's no weirdness. It's just always either going to be this, or this, or this, or this. Very simple, but you have to get it right, or you'll always be searching, and you'll be flailing, in a sense, flailing. Kind of, as Richard Wilson would say, playing any old way, which is okay. You can make great music playing any old way. You know, some guys are so damn musical, but it's a personal decision. Do you want to know what you're doing? Do you really want to learn how to play the instrument in that way? Okay, so let's hear the, I had you also work on the 6/8 up and down stroke exercise. And I had you playing, and now this involves what is just a slightly, this is something that Murray Spivak wouldn't do. He wouldn't have you playing a 6/8 exercise with accents every 3 notes with a metronome as a quarter note, because that would be too modern. That wasn't his thing. Dick Wilson, that's not modern enough. Who knows what he would do? Put the metronome so that it lands in between the notes, okay? So that you're not always polarizing the one. He'd teach you how to not have to be banging with the metronome all the time that way. Okay, so if the metronome is a quarter note at 40, what's the timing going to be? No, that was a flailing downstroke. There you go. You don't have to move that much, you see. You see how you're moving?
We have lots of time.
Come on. Don't have to move much. Are you going to make upstrokes, or are you going to wait and then go up after you make a note? It's up to you. See, now you're not making an upstroke. Now you're making a motion. Don't rush the down and the left. Just make the motion I taught you. There you go. There you go. There you go. That's good. Go ahead and put the metronome up. Pop it up to, go ahead and put it at 60. Let's see what happens at 60. So Patrick, if I was going to count the band in, for instance, right? You got click, 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 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, click. The metronome's a quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So that's your thinking. You want to feel that in your body, in your mind. You should even be able to count. That's why counting out loud is important. Go ahead and play. No flailing. Get that to that position and turn your wrist, and the whole thing collapses. You don't have to push it down. Just turn your wrist. Just turn your wrist like it never even came up. Okay, now let's stop for a sec. Click. Okay, now the metronome is going to become a dotted quarter, which is more of in the direction of how Murray Spivak would teach this. Old school, keep things very simple. Don't want to distract the mind with a head trip. What we want, which of course it isn't, but what we want to do is simply now consider the metronome a dotted quarter, which means it's more simple, but it's faster. The metronome will be landing with the accent. Go ahead and try. Patrick, when you start, Patrick, before you play, when you start, see how you always want to start with your sticks hanging on the surface? That might promote some weird position of your upper arms, as opposed to letting everything hang. So you go ahead and let the shape, now the arms want to hang. Here, it's as if they're being supported. They can do whatever they want, go out for a cup of coffee. Here, we're actually holding the sticks up, and it helps us feel what it's going to feel like every time we're not playing. Watch. If I'm not playing, I'm feeling this. See, the left hand, while I'm playing here, is feeling this. If I'm playing over here, the right hand is feeling this. If I'm playing alternating singles, every time the right, look, the right's doing nothing, nothing, waiting like this. Okay, go for it. That's your start position. Now your arm's in the right position. Now you can make that little motion. Now you kind of boost. No, you're going back to your old thing. Oh, you didn't hang at the top. No, it's just a little faster. Oh, you didn't get that little bend in the hang. There it is. Don't rush. Just turn your wrist.
I'm off the beat.
See, you can't do it. There. Okay, much better. See, you actually have to take the time to be honest with yourself. Actually look in the, telling you, having a mirror. I used to have 3 mirrors, now it's just 1, but probably I should have 3, because that's really how you do it. And you can see your positioning from all different angles, and you'll see what it is you're feeling, and you'll feel what it is you're seeing, and it will help to really, well, so that this thing becomes part of you, right? Right down to some kind of cellular level. This will become part of you because it must feel better. And you're barely moving. Where instead of all this and what am I doing? And the mind's going, zzz, 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 what's going on? It's just like, oh yeah, I know what's going on. That's all that's happening, right? It's like hand drums. That's the other thing, right? It's almost as if when you watch someone that plays with this technique, it's almost like if you look from a distance and you squint, maybe they're not even holding sticks. They're just making these motions. So that is so much better. Hold on to that. Keep going back to that. It's not necessarily how much time you spend, because you could spend an hour doing it wrong, and you'd be much better off spending 15 minutes doing it right.
Yeah. Okay.
Good job.
Thank you so much.
You really, man.
Insist and patience.
It's a pleasure. My pleasure.